Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome all NASCAR eSport race fans. It is the Season 8 NOSSCAR X2 Series All-Star race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Very unique system of doing things as the green flag has been shown to these drivers. Bryan Wiggins in the 5 leads them to the line. McMurter in the 84, the two Pepsi cars. Start on the front row here for the All-Star race, and as you can see, a couple of cars' paint jobs did not successfully load. And we'll let you know who those drivers are in a moment. Eddy Fikes got into the back bumper of the 84, and that's going to allow Caitlin Lohr to get by him, as well as Caleb Lopez. RJ Haywood taking a look to the inside, couldn't quite complete the pass. Now he's got Michael Shoemaker rear in the 56 car on the inside of him. Oh, it looks like RJ Haywood spun deep in the field. The All-Star race is 80 laps in total. And it's divided into stages. Stage 1 is lap 1 to 20. Stage 2 is lap 21 to 40. And then the final stage, of course, being lap 41 to 80. And the drivers who win stages 1 and 2 will start on the front row for the final stage. McMurter in the middle there of Daniel Harmon and Matt Tetmeyer. Now Daniel Harmon gets in front of the 84. Matt will settle in behind him. Both those custom paint jobs did not successfully load. The orange car that you see in the back there, that's the 51, driven by Ricky Bean. Great to see him back, making a return here. He is a former NOSSCAR X2 Series race winner, and he was invited to join us here for the All-Star race. And we just saw Michael Shoemaker spin towards the start-finish line. He's going to fire it up and get it moving again. Remember, these drivers have a caution coming out at lap 20 to signal the end of stage 1. So as long as they can stay on the lead lap and until the end of stage 1, then they should be just fine. Oh, it looks like Matt Tetmeyer bounced off the wall just behind the 84 car. He went through the grass, and I believe he held on to it, but he's going to lose a number of positions, and one of those was to the 42 car driven by Jeffrey Robinson Jr. Don't count him out, folks. Still looking for his very first win here in the NOSSCAR eSports Racing Series, hosted on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition. Dustin McClintlock is another one of the drivers that did not have his paint job successfully load. He's on the lead lap. Cody Vaughn in the 41 car. He won the All-Star Showdown to qualify his way into this event. And we should also mention that a number of drivers who would have been eligible for the All-Star race chose to not participate or could not attend the event. Those drivers include Jordan Green, Aaron Manfredonia, and several others. Up front, Bryan Wiggins in the 5 leads the way. Would love to win stage 1 and secure a spot on the front row for the final stage. Just up ahead, Caleb Lopez makes a pass on Eddy Fikes. The 95 gets around the 9. Caleb looks fast. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. trying to hold off Ricky Bean. The 42 and the 51 having a battle inside the top 10. And moments ago, McMurter was able to get around Caitlin Lohr. Caitlin drives the 48 car. She won the race at Phoenix earlier this season. Having a good run so far. cars that are in your camera view here: Caleb Lopez, Eddy Fikes, Daniel Harmon, Tyler McMurter, Caitlin Lohr, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Ricky Bean. Looks like Daniel Harmon surrenders the position to Tyler McMurter for now. Caitlin Lohr was not quite close enough to capitalize and perhaps look to the inside for a pass. We're about halfway done, stage one. Oh, looks like Caitlin Lohr got into the outside wall, exiting turn 4 a little bit, and that's allowing Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 42 to close in a little bit, and that'll be a battle for position. We should also mention Kenny Adair in the number 94 car, the 2018 NOSSCAR Truck Series champion on NASCAR Heat 2. Joining us here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Season 8 NOSSCAR X2 Series All-Star race. Driving the number 94 Ford out of the Tetmeyer Motorsports stable. And there's RJ Haywood going one lap down, but if all holds station now, he would get the free pass at the end of stage 1 and be back on the lead lap. Watching a battle for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th positions: Caleb Lopez, Eddy Fikes, Tyler McMurter. A little bit of space until you find Daniel Harmon in 6th and Caitlin Lohr in 7th. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. is actually taking the 7th position from Caitlin. Jeffrey's been moving up slowly since the beginning of the event in that number 42 Chevy. Tetmeyer has passed Ricky Bean in the 51 and put Matt up a position, and now he's all over the back bumper of Caitlin Lohr, and that's a battle for position as well. There's Kenny Adair in the 94 car. He has now went one lap down, so he's in the free pass position for when stage 1 is complete. It's a really nice paint job, that number 94 McDonald's Ford throwback to when McDonald's started promoting their late night hours. Bill Elliott drove with that paint job a number of times in many different NASCAR night races. Pardon me. Bryan Wiggins in the 5 car, still leading this race, looking to win stage 1. Remember, stage 1 and 2 winners will start on the front row for the final stage. The stage 1 winner must start at the tail of the field for stage 2 to help increase the odds of a different stage winner than the first. So that always makes things interesting as well. We've seen that play a factor in all-star races in the past. Sometimes the Stage 1 winner gets caught up in a couple of incidents, and regardless of restarting on the front row, they have some damage, and sometimes they are just not up to full speed like they were before, and now the caution has been called. Stage 1 is in the history books. Bryan Wiggins wins Stage 1. Caleb Lopez finishes in second. Eddy Fikes finishes in third. Not sure what was going on there between Dustin McClintlock and Tyler McMurter. It looked like McClintlock gave a bump to McMurter. And then when McMurter went to go get his position back, McClintlock spun off the front bumper of the 84. McClintlock upset about something. Spun himself rather than spinning the 84, and now here we go. The leaders are on pit road. Bryan Wiggins, Caleb Lopez, Eddy Fikes, Tyler McMurter, Caitlin Lohr, Ricky Bean. Those are the 6 drivers in your frame. And the starting order for Stage 2 will be determined based on the running order after these pit stops, so this is key. We might see some pit strategy to see who can get some track position and perhaps win Stage 2. And there we see Jeffrey Robinson Jr. leave pit road. And it looks like Jeffrey's going to be the race leader. Tyler McMurter second, Caleb Lopez in third, Eddy Fikes in fourth. That's how they will roll for the restart for Stage 2. Bryan Wiggins in the 5 will restart at the back. He wins Stage 1, and he will restart in the front row, on the inside of the front row in particular, for the final stage. Of course, the final stage being a 40-lap shootout to the finish. Here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we're going to crown a Season 8 NOSSCAR X2 Series All-Star race winner. Here tonight, they will wait one more lap before we go back green, and the next time by, Stage 2 will have begun. Now we saw Eddy Fikes give a bit of a bump to the 84 towards the beginning of Stage 1, and we saw Tyler lose a number of positions because of that. We'll see if Eddy gives the bump again. They're going to be restarting nose to tail on the outside. The green flag back in the air at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Stage 2 of the All-Star race underway. Nice restart there for Jeffrey Robinson Jr. Looked like Cody Vaughn got loose in the middle of turn 1 and 2, and the 41 went up and hit the wall. It collected Ricky Bean in the 51 car with him, and looks like Caleb Lopez got into the 84, put the 84 into the wall. The 95 got loose, and there's still contact being made. Cody Vaughn in the 41 just ran right into the back of the 95 machine, and around went the 41 and the 95 through the infield grass on the front straightaway. Oh man, and that was a chaotic start to Stage 2, and Tyler is now outside of the top 5 in the 84 car. And I believe it is Eddy Fikes in the number 9 car who is your race leader up front. We have a 4 or 5 car battle for the race lead right now. Daniel Harmon up there trying to take the lead away. Cody Vaughn in the 41 now goes 1 lap down after his incident with the 95 and the 84. Tyler now gets around RJ Haywood for position, and the 88 got all sorts of sideways there. Ricky Bean was able to clear RJ Haywood as well. Now Tyler coming up on Caitlin Lohr. This is a battle for position. Caitlin was really strong in stage 1. She finished stage 1 in the 6th position. And it looks like she's going to let the 84 go. I'm pretty sure she's well aware that Tyler's got a fast car, and he was just simply bumped out of the position he was in. And whoa, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. stopped against the outside wall on the front stretch. And he's going to drop outside of the top 5. Excuse me, the top 5 as well. Meanwhile, up front it is Eddy Fikes in the number 9 car, leading the race with Daniel Harmon right behind him in 2nd. You're watching Tyler McMurter in the 84, Caitlin Lohr in the 48 just behind him, Ricky Bean in the 51 just behind her. There's Michael Shoemaker rear. He's inside the top 5 right now. Having an alright run here in the All-Star race. He's been fast since the drop of the green flag. He's been inside the top 10 since the drop of the green flag as well. It's the highest running position he's been so far in this race. On the halfway mark of stage number 2. Remember, the stage 2 winner will restart on the front row, on the outside of the front row. For the final stage of the race, it was Bryan Wiggins in the 5, winning stage 1, so he claims that inside spot on the front row for the restart for the final stage, and that's probably the most important, most valuable spot that you can possibly be in for the restart. We've seen the inside line prevail for the initial start of this event and for the start of stage 2, so we expect that the final stage, inside car, front row, is going to just shoot out of a cannon. But we'll have to wait and see, because if Eddy Fikes wins stage 2 and he's the car on the outside, he's going to give it everything he's got. He's got a fast race car. Battle for position, the 56 and the 84. Michael's going to let the 84 go by. Michael Shoemaker has won NASCAR eSport races before in the 56 car. He's a veteran here in NASCAR competition on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition. He's made a couple of starts on the NASCAR Heat 3 video game in the NASCAR Motor Master Series. So Eddy Fikes is your race leader. Tyler McMurter now has taken 2nd from Michael Shoemaker rear. So put Michael back into 3rd, Caitlin Lohr in 4th, and Ricky Bean in the 51. Rounds out the top 5. We're in stage number 2 at Charlotte Motor Speedway of the NOSSCAR X2 Series All-Star race, here for the 8th season of this legendary eSport racing series hosted on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition. Head over to NOSSCAR.com/X2 Series to see the full point standings, the rules format, the unique point system involved, and details on how to sign up and become a driver yourself. Most of these cars hugging the inside line, the white line that goes all the way around this racetrack, trying to keep the car down there, especially in turns 1 and 2. Some of these cars about a groove or a groove and a half off the white line in turns 3 and 4. Trying to get a slingshot of momentum with that progressive banking in turns 3 and 4 for the exit. There's Kenny Adair in the 94 car. going back one lap down. He lost a lap in stage 1, but it was because he was involved in an on-track incident, and we believe that the same has happened again for the 94 Ford. Michael in the 56 is not letting Tyler in the 84 get away. We keep seeing flashes of that black and green and red number 56 Chevy creeping along behind the 84, and every now and then he closes in by a car length or two, but now he's starting to lose a couple of car lengths as he is stuck behind the lap machine of Kenny Adair, and coming out of turn 4 now. He clears the 94 machine and sets his sights on the back bumper of the 84 Ford once again. We're in the final laps here. Stage 2 in the Season 8 NOSSCAR X2 Series All-Star race. Eddy Fikes in the number 9 leads the way, looking to clinch his spot on the front row for the final stage restart. The final stage, of course, a whole lot longer than stage 1 and 2. 40 laps in length. And there's a lot of drivers that have been caught up in a couple of incidents since the beginning of this race that has really hindered them when it comes to track position. Drivers like Daniel Harmon, Dustin McClintlock, Matt Tetmeyer. And we also haven't really talked too much about Bryan Wiggins here in stage 2. He's the stage 1 winner, and he started this stage at the back because of that. So he's going to be a factor in the final stage, and we know it. Stage 2 is in the history books. These cars now going down the back straightaway and slowing down. Eddy Fikes wins stage number 2. Tyler McMurter finishes in 2nd. Caitlin Lohr with a great showing in stage 2. She's currently scored in the 3rd position now as pit stops begin. Ricky in 4th. Dustin McClintlock in 5th, just behind him. And this is more than likely going to be the final pit stops of the All-Star race, unless we see a late race caution, because now cautions have been turned on for the final stage. We were not calling anything for stages 1 and 2, but we will be calling cautions here for the final 40 laps of the All-Star race. The running order for the drivers who did not win stages will be determined based on their positions after these pit stops. But we do know that Bryan Wiggins and Eddy Fikes, the 5 and the 9, will be restarting on the front row here for the final round. And confusion on the running order. The 51 thinks he beat the 84 off of pit road. Just getting a few things sorted out here. We will be bringing you the restart very shortly. We are awaiting the 5 car of Bryan Wiggins. He's parked against the outside wall. Not a practice that many drivers perform. So we will be taking a short break. You're watching the Season 8 NOSSCAR X2 Series All-Star race here on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition. We think we got things sorted out here. Bryan Wiggins has finally awoken from his nap and claims his spot on the inside of row 1 for the restart of the final stage. 40 laps to go here in the NOSSCAR X2 Series All-Star race. It's the 8th running of the X2 Series All-Star race. Bryan Wiggins wins stage 1. Eddy Fikes wins stage 2. Caitlin Lohr inside of row 2 in 3rd. Tyler McMurter outside of row 2 in 4th. Ricky Bean in 5th. RJ Haywood in 6th. And the green flag has been called off, I believe. No, never mind. We are racing in Charlotte. It was a bit of a wild restart. Looked like Ricky in the 51 got all sorts of loose. He might have had some help from behind there. And that's a tough break. But nevertheless, we are rolling and we are green. Bryan Wiggins leads the way, but he's being challenged by Eddy Fikes. Caleb Lopez clears Dustin McClintlock, and that was for the 5th position. So it's Bryan, Eddy, Caitlin, Tyler, and Caleb, your top 5. Kenny Adair, Cody Vaughn, they are fighting for the 8th and 9th positions back there, along with Daniel Harmon and several others. Tyler now looking to the inside for 3rd on the 48. Oh, and they get real close there. Looked like Tyler drifted up more than he anticipated, and now he's going to have to back it down heading into turns 3 and 4. Not able to hold the number 84 Pepsi Ford down on the bottom. And while these two drivers are battling for 3rd and 4th, the 2 leaders are running away with this thing. The drivers that won stages in this event. That's Bryan Wiggins and Eddy Fikes. And now Caleb Lopez in the 95 machine, trying to join this battle for 3rd. Dustin McClintlock losing a bit of ground to all these drivers up here. Pardon me. Oh, looked like Caitlin took a little bit of a higher line through 3 and 4 that time, but I don't know if it was by choice. And now Tyler in the 84 comes to the inside. He's going to make the pass. Did a little bit of a slide job, but he had about a half a car length in between the 2 cars as they came off of turn 2. No harm done. And put the 4-time X2 Series champion up into the 3rd position now. Oh, but for how long? He got really loose coming out of turn 4. Drifted up the course and hit the outside wall. Caitlin had to get out of the throttle a little bit, and because of that, Caleb Lopez now on the inside, and that's a battle for 4th. He's going to take it from the 48 car. Bryan Wiggins leads the race by just under a second over Eddy Fikes in the 9. Remember, cautions are turned on for the final stage. We have not seen one yet. These drivers have kept things relatively smooth since the beginning of the final stage. Caleb Lopez with a great pass for 3rd. Used the inside line through turns 1 and 2. He was able to make it stick and put the 95 up into P3. And it looks like Tyler's fighting a little bit of a loose race car right now. He drops to the inside, and he's going to let Caitlin Lohr in the 48 go by. And that's Dustin McClintlock. Normally drives the number 30 Chevrolet with a white paint job. His paint job did not successfully load for this race replay, but that is Dustin McClintlock running in the 6th position. Bryan Wiggins and Eddy Fikes have really run away with this thing. And we're watching the battle here in the 2nd group. Caleb Lopez leading the way. Really impressed with Caitlin Lohr in the 48 car. She has 1 win this season. She's inside the top 10 in the point standings with only 4 or 5 races left to go this season. 5, rather. And now she finds herself in the top 5 in the All-Star race, competing with the cream of the crop, the best of the best. Oh, and that was Kenny Adair, slow in the grass area through turns 1 and 2. And I do believe that he's having some sort of mechanical issue. I don't think that he was forced down there or that he spun, and we're staying green for the time being. Dustin McClintlock was able to work his way around Tyler McMurter. That was for 5th, and now McClintlock all over the back bumper of Caitlin Lohr. It's a battle for 4th. Oh, and it looked like he got into the back of her a little bit, and then he got on the brakes to try to stay off the back bumper of the 48 car, and he's going to lose a spot to Tyler McMurter because of that. So put Dustin back into the 6th position. Caitlin Lohr stays in 4th. Looked like Dustin bounced off the wall a little bit coming out of turn 4 that last time by, trying to get every bit of speed that he can to get back in the top 5. The more position you can get now, the better your chances are for winning this event are. If a late race caution comes out, you don't want to be in the 3rd or 4th row for the restart. You'd rather be in one of those first 2 rows and have a legitimate shot at winning this thing. Bryan Wiggins in the 5 has been the fastest car on the track all race long. He's currently scored as your race leader. He's also the Stage 1 winner. He's got Eddy Fikes all over the back bumper of him up there. Shouldn't say all over the back bumper, about 0.8 of a second separating those 2 cars up there. Caleb Lopez in the 95 running in 3rd. Caleb has left Caitlin Lohr and Tyler McMurter. Caleb long gone in that 3rd position. Oh, contact made there between the 56 machine and Daniel Harmon in 62. Battling for 8th and 9th. We just saw Tyler and Dustin both make contact with the outside wall coming out of turn 4. Now Dustin McClintlock looking to the inside. That's a battle for the 5th position. And he's going to clear them before they even reach turns 3 and 4. Oh, and the 94 slow on the inside on the front straightaway. Not sure if this is going to bring out a yellow or not. We remain green. Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Michael Shoemaker, and Daniel Harmon 3 wide. Battle for position back there. And Matt Tetmeyer was right behind them. Kenny Adair in the 94 still at a reduced speed on the apron. Now in turns 3 and 4. So problems for Kenny getting worse, staying off the racetrack and out of the way of the race leaders at this time, and he's currently scored in the 12th position. "14 cars started the All-Star race. 14 drivers, 14 cars. Should also mention that Caleb Lopez is really starting to run down Bryan Wiggins, your race leader. So Bryan doesn't have this thing in the bag by any means. Caleb in the 95 looking very strong here in the final stage of the All-Star race. Taking a short break from commentary, you are watching the Season 8 NOSSCAR X2 Series All-Star race hosted on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition. Head over to NOSSCAR.com/X2 Series to learn more about this exciting esport racing experience hosted on the PlayStation 3 console. Glad you're with us. Stay with us. We're going to crown a winner shortly. Here at the Season 8 NOSSCAR X2 Series All-Star race, and the caution is out. This really shakes things up, folks. We are about to see pit stops here under the caution. So used to saying green flag pit stops here for the NOSSCAR X2 Series. We don't ever really see the caution come out. There are no cautions for the NOSSCAR X2 Series. So Dustin McClintlock, Matt Tetmeyer, Caleb Lopez, Caitlin Lohr, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Bryan Wiggins, Eddy Fikes, Michael Shoemaker Rear, RJ Haywood, Tyler McMurter, they're all on pit road. And we don't have very many laps left either, folks. Under 12 laps to go here in the All-Star race, and they're going to click off very fast here. Gonna get the running orders set up for you, and you saw it during the commercial break. Tyler McMurter in the 84 car was trying to make a pass on one of the cars just in front of him. They got into the inside wall. outside wall. Tyler had nowhere to go. He was right behind the car that brushed the outside wall, made contact, and went for a slide through the infield grass on the front stretch and made some minor contact with the inside wall, the pit road wall. Now he finds himself outside of the top 5 for this restart. And we're going to have to see if there's enough time left for him to make up any ground here. And the green flag back in the air for the All-Star race. And whoa, it looked like Caitlin Lohr got loose on the restart. She went up the hill. that was crazy. Up front, Bryan Wiggins the leader, Eddy Fikes in second, Caleb Lopez in third, Daniel Harmon, Dustin McClintlock battling side by side. Matt Tetmeyer and Dustin McClintlock battling side by side. Both paint jobs did not successfully load. And now Eddy Fikes has taken the race lead from Bryan Wiggins. Can he win the All-Star race? We've seen Bryan Wiggins dominate the All-Star race, except for stage 2 when he restarted at the back. And he only did that because he won stage 1, and that's the rule. Both of those two restarted the final stage on the front row. Bryan not letting him get away. Bryan looking to the inside in turn 1. He's going to take the lead back from Eddy. Oh, or does he? They both get into the outside wall, and Caleb Lopez gets around Eddy for second. Eddy Fikes slips to the third position. Caleb was on the inside of Bryan Wiggins for the lead. Bryan had a nice run on the outside. Eddy Fikes got into it with Dustin McClintlock. And Eddy Fikes lost a number of positions because of that. Dustin moves up a spot but loses ground to the leaders. Bryan Wiggins the leader, Caleb Lopez in second, Tyler McMurter in third. Dustin McClintlock in fourth, and Matt Tetmeyer rounds out the top 5. Caitlin Lohr in 6th, Ricky Bean in 7th. There's a big wreck on the front stretch, and this might be bringing out a caution. And it does. The caution is out at Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're going to restart with only 4 or 5 laps to go in the race. It's going to be a shootout to the finish. It's what we like to call a quickie yellow. The drivers are already doubled up and ready to go, but cars can pit if they want. There is just simply no guarantee that they will be back to the pack of double file cars before the restart is declared. As you can see, some of those cars have decided to come down pit road, so the caution speed for these cars on the track has been dropped by the NASCAR officials so that these cars can catch back up for the restart. Here they come. Michael Shoemaker made a pit stop. Ricky Bean made a pit stop. And we're going to line them up and let them go here. It's a shootout to the finish. 3 laps to go. The green flag is back in the air. Bryan Wiggins going to try to win the All-Star race. Caleb Lopez never won the All-Star race in his career. He's in second. He would love to do it. Dustin McClintlock now into the 4th position, just behind Tyler in the 84. Oh, Tyler looked to the inside of Caleb for second, and he almost got to him. And now Caleb on the inside of Bryan for the lead. Bryan scrapes the wall, he gets loose, he's got to gather it back up. Caleb takes the race lead, and Bryan's trying to hold off Dustin McClintlock for second. Tyler was on the inside line, but he had to check up a little bit when McClintlock was there. And when Bryan checked up, and Bryan makes contact with the outside wall. He bounced off of McClintlock a little bit. Dustin McClintlock is holding on to second for dear life right now. Bryan Wiggins in third, Matt Tetmeyer in fourth, Tyler McMurter in fifth. They're coming around to the checkered flag, and while they're fighting for second, third, and fourth, it's Caleb Lopez in the 95 car winning the Season 8 NOSSCAR X2 Series All-Star race. They were spinning when they crossed the line, folks. Caitlin Lohr, several others involved. Looked like Daniel Harmon was the one that shot up the racetrack into the inside of the 48. But Caitlin Lohr slides across the line to finish in 6th. Caleb Lopez wins the All-Star race. Dustin McClintlock finishes in second. Bryan Wiggins in third. Matt Tetmeyer in fourth. And Tyler McMurter rounds out the top 5. 14 drivers entered the event. Caitlin Lohr in 6th. Michael Shoemaker 7th. Ricky Bean 8th. Daniel Harmon 9th. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. 10th. RJ Haywood 11th. Kenny Adair 12th. Eddy Fikes in 13th. Your All-Star Showdown race winner, Cody Vaughn, finishes in 14th. But a great effort by him to win the All-Star Showdown to qualify for the event. Thanks very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed the show. Caleb Lopez wins the All-Star race. From all of us here at NOSSCAR, we're saying so long until next time, and we hope you have a pleasant weekend.